Hey, so less than a year ago, I was broken up with out of a year-long relationship. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably going through something similar. First, I want to get some things out of the way. I already made a video about this subject, but um, since then, I think I've articulated my thoughts a bit more, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Um, Another thing I wanted to say is I'm 18 years old right now, so a year is basically an 18th of my life. So to me, it was pretty long, even if it's not later on. Um, it was deep. It was really deep, and the feelings were for sure there. So yeah, okay, let's get into it. So I kind of want to talk about this in like a this format. So first, I wanted to talk about the grief and the sadness. So this is something that doesn't really go away for a little bit. Um, the sadness. Guilt. The guilt, grief, and the sadness. So losing someone is really tough, especially someone that you've been really close with for the past who knows how long. It's really tough. And honestly, it can feel like you kind of lost a part of you. You lost something that's, was so important to you, and now it can't be, you know? I mean, there's no rule saying you can't get back with your ex, but it's generally not a good idea because they're your ex for a reason. But basically, they can't be, you know? They can't be important to you anymore, or else it's going to affect you negatively, it's going to affect them negatively, and you both aren't going to grow in the ways that you need to. So it sucks, but you kind of do have to tank some sadness. And while there are ways to work through that, to heal from that, it's nothing you can magically heal from in a few weeks. This is, of course, if you actually cared about the person. The sadness and guilt, it's gonna happen, it's gonna suck, and there's not really a timeline for when it ends, for how it happens. Now, talking about the guilt, for some, it might not have even been your fault, which in that case, it sucks that you're hurting this bad, I'm sorry about that. But if it was your fault, or at least you had something to do with it, generally, unless you deliberately go out of your way to harm this person or to do something that will make them break up with you, there really is no fault. I mean, it's like both of your guys' fault, but not really anyone's at the same time. It can be really messy. But for those that, maybe you feel that way, you contributed to it, or maybe no one was at fault. I had to think about it like it was something like both of you guys mutually were brought together because you both needed to learn the lessons that you guys are learning now. That kind of helps with the guilt. It takes my mind off of what actually happened and lets me live in the present because we both are learning lessons. I mean, I haven't talked to her since, so I don't know what she's going through, but I at least have been learning a lot of lessons that I needed to learn. So I'm really grateful for that and that we broke up in the first place because I was able to learn those lessons. But it still does suck. Like, I'm not trying to glaze over that. It sucks so bad. But it needed to happen, and we needed to learn these lessons, and it's going to be okay. Something nice that I thought of a while back. It's a nice quote. It goes, "It was a beautiful moment, and now it's a beautiful memory." That quote helps me let it go, really. because it's it really is hard to let go sometimes. Laying in my bed, nothing else to think about, nothing else to do. It just happens naturally. I think about it a lot, but that quote helps me to believe that it was just nice and now it's over, so I can let go. It also helps me to think nicely about the relationship. I know for a lot of people, it's easy to swell in resentment and really create larger feelings of disliking towards your former partner. And that's really not the way that it should go. I mean, you guys are both living this life for the first time, and there's no reason for you to be upset at each other for learning. That's what a lot of it is. You guys are learning, and that's okay. You know, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to do something wrong, even if it's really bad. If you genuinely feel bad for it, you're just learning, dude. So next, I wanted to talk about what to expect. So if you know for sure that it's over, that your guys' relationship is over, then you done? Okay. That was a bird. Did you guys hear that? I'm gonna look like a fool if you guys didn't hear that. Anyways, um, like I said before, there really is no timeline to breakups and when you're gonna heal or when something is gonna happen. It's just all gonna happen when it needs to happen, and that's something we have to accept. But there are things that I can tell you to prepare for. Um, so if you know for sure that it's over and that you guys are no longer together, there's gonna be a lot of sadness. Like it's gonna hit hard. Like for a second you might be like, okay, yeah, this is fine. Like I don't, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna be fine. Like everything's okay. And then it really starts to settle in, and that's when the nighttime becomes a little harder to navigate because there's just no way to stop these thoughts coming at you. Of course, you can try meditating, and for some it helps. So for me, I didn't know that we were broken up until. Okay, so it was a really odd situation. Um, my ex wanted to take a break, and we were doing that, and then she came back to me and was like, hey, actually, let's get back together. But we had agreed on a date to talk about it, which was 2 months from when she asked, and that was 10 days in. So so I thought it would be beneficial for us to stick to that 2 months. So that's what I told her. And then 10 days later, about, she called me in the morning and was like, hey, I think I've been happier, so I just want to end this now. Again, before the 2 months date that we agreed on. And before she called me and was like, hey, let's make this official, I was fine. I was thinking like, oh man, I'm going to heal from this and we're going to get back together and it's going to be great and amazing. And we're both going to come back so much stronger, together and individually. But I I guess I didn't fully let myself prepare for the fact that maybe it wasn't even going to happen. You know, we weren't going to get back together. I just completely glazed past that fact, and I was hit like a truck, I'd say. hit like a bus, maybe even an asteroid, you know? Like, it hurt. It sucked. Um, so once it really settled in for me, then it started sucking so bad. I mean, I think I had to up my therapy sessions, and I really just I wasn't there most of the time mentally, and you know, it sucked a lot. After Okay, so actually I want to preference something first. I didn't stop going to the gym. I didn't stop doing things out of my comfort zone, you know. I I kept on trying to improve myself. Um for some that can be good, for some maybe not. Some things that you've been doing could help, but also taking a break from those things could also really be beneficial. So, it's really just up to your preferences, and you know, you can test and see what works out. And everything's going to remind you of her or him, them, whoever it may be. Everything is going to remind you of them. So, like I said, I'm about 3 months into this breakup, and things have just started to dial down with things reminding me of her. Um, like, I'll see something and maybe it'll remind me of her, and if it does, honestly, I'll just smile. Because I've gotten to a point, and you can too, where you can view your relationship or your past relationship as something nice, something that brought you joy, and like that quote I was telling you about, now it's over. But it's a beautiful memory now, and you can treat it as such, even if you don't want to. It's beneficial, I promise you. Now I wanted to talk about recovery. Recovery can look really different for a lot of people. Whether it's meditating, going on walks, playing video games, engaging in any of your hobbies, it can look different. And honestly, I don't think I'm there yet. So I'm not going to tell you about it. Um, I think that's all I wanted to say. I really hope this provided some insight or really anything. I hope it did anything positive for you. Um, and if any of what I said resonated with you and you want to see more of this content, um, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. It really helps. It really helps the channel out and me. Um, I'm really trying to make this work as my thing, you know. Um, yeah. Final messages. I hope the best for you. I love you, and I know it's going to get better. Just know that, okay? It's going to get better if you allow it to. Um, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one.